Welcome to the next episode of Doja Tech, where we talk all things tech. Now, today we're going to do a talking head piece. We're going to discuss RGB and all the ins and outs of it. Let's get into it. The first thing we need to understand about RGB is that RGB does not enhance in any way performance. So if you have RGB on RAM sticks, it doesn't enhance the performance of those RAM sticks. If you have an RGB SSD, it doesn't enhance it. So that's the first thing we need to understand, is that RGB does not enhance the system's performance. That's number one. And it also, with another misconception, is that it may take away too much power from the PSU, and it doesn't affect it at all, like as far as power draw. So RGB all over the place. Let's run down the different components in a PC build that can have RGB in it. You can have RGB motherboards. Motherboards come equipped, some more than others, some brands more than others. Definitely implement RGB on the motherboard. So you can find motherboards with RGB embedded in. RGB 24-pin power connectors. Even the power connectors, there's some real nice ones from Liam Lee. But even the power connector, the 24-pin, can be RGB if you're looking for that. RGB mouse pads. You also have RGB mice or mouse. You have RGB strips. You have RGB RAM, RGB SSDs. You have RGB IAOs or all-in-one coolers, the water coolers for your CPU. Especially the ones from Corsairs, which I like to indulge in, as you can see. Cases usually doesn't have RGB embedded within the frame of the case, but Corsairs just came out with a case that has RGB embedded within the case, separate from any other RGB that you may want to throw into the case. So, and it's a beautiful case. I'm dying to get that case. And then there's RGB fans, as you can see over here, all these RGB fans. So with RGB fans, you can have up to 8 LEDs. LEDs are the lights that's inside of the actual fan that's lighting up. And then 34 LEDs. The Corsair QLs actually have 34 LEDs embedded throughout the fan. So there's a whole lot of different components that you can put inside your PC case that have RGB. And then there lies the RGB argument. What is it good for? And it depends on who you're asking. If you're asking me, it's a beautiful thing. You gotta understand, and here's my motivations for RGB. I come from the era of the Apple II computer. I come from the era of the Commodore 64, and once again in these videos I'm dating myself. Also, I actually grew up with the Atom computer. A part of the original hackers, 10 print, 20 print, and all that other good stuff. Actually writing out the programs that you're gonna be using. That's what the Atom computer was all about. Real good for some of the first hackers. If you look at these different computers, you see how boring they look. These things look boring even back then. I mean, they was just not pleasing to look at all. So here you have now the option to add RGB. Some go more, like myself, and some go less. It depends on who you are. And like another video I did, it depends on you. When you build a computer, that computer needs to say you. So it's all about you. Are you loud and obnoxious, like I said before, like me? Or are you more restrained? Maybe you just want a couple of RGB fans. Maybe you just want your motherboard to have a couple of RGB lights on it just to spruce it up or whatever. But it's like anything else in life. There's either less or more, depending on what it is that you want, what's pleasing to you. I can tell you this, when people come to my house and they look at this computer, one, they don't know what it is at first. At first glance, they don't know what they're looking at. They have to ask. And then when I tell them it's a PC, that's a computer, it's a build. No, you can't go to the store and buy something like that. You have to actually build it. They lose their minds. So I like that reaction. I put a lot of work, into my build. People put a lot of work into their builds. And especially when you're into the looks of a build, you really appreciate when people appreciate the look of your build. So it's all about, RGB is all about preference. It's all about what it is that you want out of a computer, or how you need it to look, or things of that nature. Some of the largest manufacturers of RGB equipment is Corsairs, which is my favorite, all-time favorite. This is a complete Corsairs build, because I just love the RGB and I love the control that Corsair iCUE, which is the program that controls all of your RGB lighting with the Corsair build. I just love it. Corsairs is a big manufacturer of all things RGB. Liam Lee is, I would say, second in the running, but they produce some beautiful RGB fans. Cool Master is also another brand that indulges in RGB. And last but not least, NZXT. NZXT makes some beautiful RGB things. My next build, I'm not looking for anything Corsairs, because I really went overboard and really wild out with Corsairs on this one. I know they love me over there, but the next build is going to be, it's not going to be as loud, it's not going to be as obnoxious as this one. But you gotta love Corsairs. Another thing about RGB that maybe a lot of people don't know is that RGB simply stands for red, blue, and green. Now, do not hold me to this fact, but I do believe the color combinations between red, blue, and green can give you up to 255 different colors. So keep that in mind. Another thing about RGB is that there's RGB you may see on advertisements for fans or whatever you're looking into. You may see RGB and then you may see ARGB. Now, RGB, like I just said, stands for red, blue, and green, and those color combinations. ARGB is for addressable RGB. Now, what's the difference? And let's take fans, for example. RGB fan will usually glow one particular color that you choose. It can glow white, green, blue, yellow, and anything like that. Now, and it's a solid color. It's a static color. ARGB is addressable RGB. So each LED within a fan can be programmed to perform a task, like make that particular RGB turn from green to red, or red to blue. Or you can have it flash, or you can have it, like if you look at this color scheme, and I know my camera's not really picking it up well, but if you look at it, what it's really doing is just turning on and off. The lights, the LEDs are just simply turning on and off, or they're turning from one color into another in some sort of synchronous order, which gives you all types of colors, designs, and patterns. And Corsair iCUE is just brilliant at it. Like when you get deep into the software, you can see the different color combinations, the different patterns, all types of things. Also, Gigabyte, also with their motherboards, have also a program that you can use to be able to change the different colors or color patterns and stuff like that. So whenever you invest into, let's say, Corsairs or Liam Lee or Cool Masters, and especially NZXT, it'll come with a control box that you're going to hook all these fans up to. That control box is going to be connected to your motherboard, and then you'll be able to control it through whatever dedicated program that that company has to offer. Usually the control box is no bigger than a deck of cards or an SSD. It's about the same size and can be easily attached to the back of your PC case, along with your SSDs and everything else you got going on back there, which is the only downside when it comes to Corsairs. Corsair fans come with two wires. One is a power wire, and then the other wire is for addressable RGB, like we just discussed, to be able to control the lighting schemes. But the problem is like in this build, you have 12 fans, so each fan comes with a wire, 2 wires, matter of fact. Each fan comes with 2 wires. It makes a mess in the back. I don't even want to show you what's going on back there. I did some cable management, it's kind of neat, but maybe if you hit me up in the comments, I'll show you what's going on back there, and it's madness. But it's unavoidable because of the amount of fans that I have inside this case, and they're all QLs except for the top 3 are Corsair MLs, matter of fact, but they all work in unison, and I have 3 Lighting node cores powering all this. It's madness going on back there. So when it comes to RGB, the first thing we really need to know is that it doesn't enhance our system performance at all. It doesn't take up too much power. It doesn't, the power draw is minuscule as far as a PC build is concerned. There's more things inside your PC you need to, as far as the power draw, that you need to be concerned with, like the graphics card or your CPU, things like that. I wouldn't really be concerned about the power draw from anything LED, but it is a power draw, and you want to do some math when you're hooking these things up. And last but not least, it's just pretty. It's just ill to look at, and like I say, it depends on who you are, how far you willing to go, how much you willing to invest in RGB. Some of us, we go all out and put the ugliest colors you can ever imagine into the color scheme, because we're just anal like that. But it's not really room to debate. You can't really debate preference. It's all about what you like. You can go to Best Buy and buy a boring computer that's black or gray and be totally fine with it. It totally matches the aesthetics in your living room or in your bedroom. You're good. But some of us, we go beast with it. We go beast with it because, like I said, I come from the era of the Apple II, the Atom computer, the Commodore 64, and those are just the ones off the top of my head. There's more, but none of them are pleasing aesthetically. Later on in the years, Apple tried to come out with some like translucent, PCs, and that didn't really work out too well. And with Apple being such a closed system, there's no way you could change the color schemes or nothing that was embedded in their, I believe it was the PC monitors that they had. You can straight up see straight through them, and they would come in different colors: blue, green, pink, stuff like that. But that didn't work. It didn't work until you put it in the hands of the people. So when you're looking at PCs and PC builds, you're really looking at just a big jigsaw puzzle of different pieces that you can arrange different ways. If you really look at PC builds, you'll notice that you're looking at all the same thing, but just arranged differently. This dude went with Liam Lee. This dude went with Corsairs, but he went with something, which is a piece of a puzzle, and they put it all together. What does your puzzle look like? That's the question. What do you want it to look like? That's the argument for RGB. I haven't posted in a while, but I'm back, and I'm gonna be doing my thing. Please subscribe. Why do I have to beg these people? Please subscribe. Leave a comment if you like it. If you don't like it, If you can't stand RGB, if you love it, leave a comment. And most importantly, like. Hit the like button. It don't take but a second. I don't know what the problem is. It doesn't take but a second. Hit the like button. I'm just messing with you. Do what you like. But Doja Tag, I'm here for the people. Next time.